Hare Krishna, welcome all of you for today's Bhagavad Gita reading session. Let us begin with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Divine Grace Vishwaguru Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Chapter 13, entitled Nature, the Enjoyer and Consciousness. Text 13. ज्ञेयं यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परं ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते. Synonyms: Gneyam, knowable; Yat, that; Tat, which; Pravakshyami, I shall now explain; Yat, which; Jnatva, knowing; Amritam, nectar; Ashnute, taste; Anadi, beginningless; Matparam, subordinate to me; Brahma, spirit; Na, neither; Sat, cause; Tat, that; Na, nor; Asat, effect; Uchyate, is called. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. This is beginningless, and it is subordinate to me. It is called Brahman, the spirit, and it lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. Purport: The Lord has explained the field of activities and the knower of the field. He has also explained the process of knowing the knower of the field of activities. Now, he is explaining the knowable, both the soul and the supersoul, respectively. By knowledge of the knower, both the soul and the supersoul, one can relish the nectar of life. As explained in the second chapter, the living entity is eternal. This is also confirmed here. There is no specific date at which the Jiva was born, nor can anyone trace out the history of Jivatma's manifestation from the Supreme Lord. Therefore, it is beginningless. The Vedic literature confirms this. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit. The knower of the body is never born and never dies, and he is full of knowledge. The Supreme Lord is also stated in the Vedic literature as Pradhana Kshetrajna Patir Guneshaha. The Supreme Lord, as the Supersoul, is the chief knower of the body, and he is the master of the three modes of material nature. In the Smriti, it is said, Dasa Bhuto Harer Eva Nanyasyaiva Kadachana. The living entities are eternally in the service of the Supreme Lord. This is also confirmed by Lord Chaitanya in his teaching. Therefore, the description of Brahman mentioned in this verse is in relation to the individual soul, and when the word Brahman is applied to the living entity, it is to be understood that he is Vijnana Brahma as opposed to Ananta Brahma. Ananta Brahma is the Supreme Brahman, personality of Godhead. Text 14. सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत्सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखं सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति. Synonyms: Sarvataha, everywhere. Pani, hands. Padam, legs. Tat, that. Sarvataha, everywhere. Akshi, eyes. Shiraha, head. Mukham, face. Sarvataha, everywhere. Shrutimat, hearing. Loke, in the world. Sarvam, everywhere. Avritya, covering. Tishtati, exists. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes and faces, and he hears everything. In this way, the Supersoul exists. Purport: As the sun exists, diffusing its unlimited rays, so does the Supersoul, or Supreme Personality of Godhead. He exists in his all pervading form, and in him exist all the individual living entities, beginning from the first great teacher, Brahma, down to the small ants. There are unlimited heads, legs, hands, and eyes, and unlimited living entities. All are existing in and on the Supersoul. Therefore, the Supersoul is all pervading. The individual soul, however, cannot say that he has his hands, legs, and eyes everywhere. That is not possible. If he thinks that, although under ignorance he is not conscious that his hands and legs are diffused all over, but when he attains to proper knowledge, he will come to that stage. His thinking is contradictory. This means that the individual soul, having become conditioned by material nature, is not supreme. The supreme is different from the individual soul. The supreme Lord can extend his hand without limit. The individual soul cannot. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that if anyone offers him a flower or a fruit or a little water, he accepts it. If the Lord is far distance away, how can he accept things? This is the omnipotence of the Lord. Even though he is situated in his own abode, far, far away from earth, he can extend his hand to accept what anyone offers. That is his potency. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated, Goloka eva nivasati. Although he is always engaged in pastimes in his transcendental planet, he is all pervading. The individual soul cannot claim that he is all pervading. Therefore, this verse describes the Supreme Soul, the personality of Godhead, not the individual soul. Text 15. सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितम् असक्तं सर्वभृच्छैव निर्गुणं गुणभोक्तृ च. Synonyms: Sarve, all. Indriya, senses. Guna, qualities. Abhasam, original source. Sarva, all. Indriya, senses. Vivarjitam, being without. Asaktam, without attachment. Sarvabhrit, maintainer of everyone. Cha, also. Eva, certainly. Nirgunam, without material qualities. Gunabhoktra, simultaneously master of the gunas. Cha, also. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: The Supersoul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the modes of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of all modes of material nature. Purport: The Supreme Lord, although the source of all the senses of the living entities, doesn't have material senses like they have. Actually, the living individual souls have spiritual senses, but in conditioned life, they are covered with the material elements, and therefore the sense activities are exhibited through matter. The Supreme Lord's senses are not so covered. His senses are transcendental and are therefore called nirguna. Guna means the material modes, but his senses are without material covering. It should be understood that his senses are not exactly like ours. Although he is the source of all our sensual activities, he has his transcendental senses which are uncontaminated. This is very nicely explained in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad in the verse Sarvatah Panipadam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no hands which are materially contaminated, but he has his hands and accepts whatever sacrifice is offered to him. That is the distinction between the conditioned soul and the super soul. He has no material eyes, but he has eyes. Otherwise, how could he see? He sees everything, past, present, and future. He lives within the heart of the living being, and he knows what we have done in the past, what we are doing now, and what is awaiting us in the future. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. He knows everything, but no one knows him. It is said that the Supreme Lord has no legs like us, but he can travel throughout space because he has spiritual legs. In other words, the Lord is not impersonal. He has his eyes, legs, hands, and everything else. And because we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, we also have these things. But his hands, legs, eyes, and senses are not contaminated by material nature. Bhagavad Gita also confirms that when the Lord appears, he appears as he is by his internal potency. He is not contaminated by the material energy because he is the Lord of material energy. In the Vedic literature, we find that his whole embodiment is spiritual. He has his eternal form called Satchidananda Vigraha. He is full of all opulence. He is the proprietor of all wealth and the owner of all energy. He is the most intelligent and is full of knowledge. These are some of the symptoms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is maintainer of all living entities and the witness of all activities. As far as we can understand from Vedic literature, the Supreme Lord is always transcendental. Although we do not see his head, face, hands, or legs, he has them, and when we are elevated to the transcendental situation, then we can see the Lord's form. Due to materially contaminated senses, we cannot see his form. Therefore, the impersonalists who are still materially affected cannot understand the personality of Godhead. Text 16. बहिरन्तश्च भूतानामचरं चरमेव च सूक्ष्मत्वात् तदविज्ञेयं दूरस्थं चान्तिके च तत्. Synonyms: Bahihi, outside; Antaha, inside; Cha, also; Bhutanam, of all living entities; Acharam, not moving; Charam, moving; Eva, also; Cha, and; Sukshmatvat, on account of being subtle; Tat, that; Avigneyam, unknowable; Durastham, far away; Cha antike, near also; Cha, and; Tat, that. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: The supreme truth exists both internally and externally, in the moving and non moving. He is beyond the power of the material senses to see or to know. Although far, far away, he is also near to all. Purport. In Vedic literature, we understand that Narayana, the Supreme Person, is residing both outside and inside of every living entity. He is present both in the spiritual and material world. Although he is far, far away, still he is near to us. These are the statements of Vedic literature. Asino duram brajati shayano yati sarvataha. And because he is always engaged in transcendental bliss, we cannot understand how he is enjoying his full opulence. We cannot see or understand with these material senses. Therefore, in the Vedic language, it is said that to understand him, our material mind and senses cannot act. But one who has purified his mind and senses by practicing Krishna consciousness in devotional service can see him constantly. It is confirmed in Brahma Samhita that the devotee who has developed love for the Supreme God can see him always without cessation. And it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 11.54 that he can be seen and understood only by devotional service. Bhaktya tu ananyaya shakyaha. Text 17. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam bhutabhartru cha tadneyam grashishnu prabhavishnu cha. Synonyms: avibhaktam, without division, cha, also, bhuteshu, in every living being, vibhaktam, divided, iva, as if, cha, also, sthitam, situated, bhuta bhartru, maintainer of all living entities, cha, also, tat, that, gneyam, to be understood, grasishnu, devours, prabhavishnu, develops, cha, also. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: although the Supersoul appears to be divided, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is the maintainer of every living entity, it is to be understood that he devours and develops all. Purport: the Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the Supersoul. Does that mean that he has become divided? No. Actually, he is one. The example is given of the sun. The sun at the meridian is situated in his place. But if one goes for 5,000 miles in all directions and asks, where is the sun? Everyone will say that it is shining on his head. In the Vedic literature, this example is given to show that although he is undivided, he is situated as if divided. Also, it is said in Vedic literature that one Vishnu is present everywhere by his omnipotence, just as the sun appears in many places to many persons. And the Supreme Lord, although the maintainer of every living entity, devours everything at the time of annihilation. This was confirmed in the 11th chapter when the Lord said that he has come to devour all the warriors assembled at Kurukshetra. He also mentions that in the form of time he devours also. He is the annihilator, the killer of all. When there is creation, he develops all from their original state, and at the time of annihilation, he devours them. The Vedic hymns confirms the fact that He is the origin of all living entities and the rest of all. After creation, everything rests in his omnipotence, and after annihilation, everything again returns to rest in him. These are the confirmations of Vedic hymns. Yato va imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayanti, abhisamvishanti, tad brahma, tad vijnana savasva. Taittiriya Upanishad 3.1. Text 18. ज्योतिषामपि तज्ज्योतिस्तमसः परमुच्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानगम्यं हृदि सर्वस्य विष्ठितम्. Synonyms: Jyotisham, in all luminous objects, api, also, tat, that, Jyotihi, source of light, tamasaha, of the darkness, param, beyond, uchyate, is said, jnanam, knowledge, gneyam, to be known, jnanagamyam, to be approached by knowledge, hridi, in the heart, sarvasya, of everyone, vishthitam, situated. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: He is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the goal. He is the object of knowledge. And He is the goal of knowledge. He is situated in everyone's heart. Purport: The Supersoul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the source of light in all luminous objects like the sun, moon, stars, etc. In the Vedic literature, we find that in the spiritual kingdom there is no need of sun or moon because the effulgence of the Supreme Lord is there. In the material world, that Brahmajyoti, the Lord's spiritual effulgence, is covered by the Mahatattva, the material elements. Therefore, in this material world, we require the assistance of sun, moon, electricity, etc. for light. But in the spiritual world, there is no need of such things. It is clearly stated in the Vedic literature that because of his luminous effulgence, everything is illuminated. It is clear, therefore, that his situation is not in the material world. He is situated in the spiritual world, which is far, far away in the spiritual sky. That is also confirmed in the Vedic literature. Aditya Varnam Tamasah Parasthat. He is just like the sun, eternally luminous, but he is far, far beyond the darkness of this material world. His knowledge is transcendental. The Vedic literature confirms that Brahman is concentrated transcendental knowledge. To one who is anxious to be transferred to that spiritual world, knowledge is given by the Supreme Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart. One Vedic mantra says, Tamha Devam Atma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanam Aham Prapadye. One must surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead if he at all wants liberation. As far as the goal of ultimate knowledge is concerned, it is also confirmed in Vedic literature. Tameva Viditvati Amrutameti. Only by knowing you can one surpass the boundary of birth and death. He is situated in everyone's heart as the supreme controller. The Supreme has legs and hands distributed everywhere, and this cannot be said of the individual soul. Therefore, that there are two knowers of the field of activity, the individual soul and the supersoul, must be admitted. One's hands and legs are distributed locally, but Krishna's hands and legs are distributed everywhere. This is confirmed in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Sarvasya Prabhumishanam Sarvasya Sharanam Bruhat. That Supreme Personality of Godhead Supersoul is the Prabhu or Master of all living entities. Therefore, he is the ultimate center of all living entities. So, there is no denying the fact that the Supreme Supersoul and the individual soul are always different. Text 19. इति क्षेत्रं तथा ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं चोक्तुं समासतः मद्भक्त एतद्विज्ञाय मद्भावायोपपद्यते. Synonyms: iti, thus; kshetram, field of activities, the body; tatha, also; jnanam, knowledge; gneyam, knowable; cha, also; uktam, described; samasataha, in summary; mat bhaktaha, my devotee; etat, all this; vijnaya, after understanding; madbhavaya, my nature; upapadyate, attains. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Thus, the field of activities, the body, knowledge, and the knowable have been summarily described by me. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature. Purport. The Lord has described in summary the body, knowledge, and the knowable. This knowledge is of three things: the knower, the knowable, and the process of knowing. Combined, these are called Vijnanam, or the science of knowledge. Perfect knowledge can be understood by the unalloyed devotees of the Lord directly. Others are unable to understand. The monists say that at the ultimate stage, these three items become one, but the devotees do not accept this. Knowledge and development of knowledge means understanding oneself in Krishna consciousness. We are being led by material consciousness, but as soon as we transfer all consciousness to Krishna's activities and realize that Krishna is everything, then we attain real knowledge. In other words, knowledge is nothing but the preliminary stage of understanding devotional service perfectly. Text 20. Prakritim purusham chaiva vidyanaadi ubhavapi vikramascha gunamschaiva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. Synonyms: Prakritim, material nature; Purusham, living entities; Cha, also; Eva, certainly; Vidhi, must know; Anadi, without beginning; Ubhau, both; Api, also; Vikaran, transformation; Cha, also; Gunan, three modes of nature; Cha, also; eva, certainly; vidhi, no; prakriti, material nature; sambhavan, produced of. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformations and the modes of matter are products of material nature. Purport. By this knowledge, the body, the field of activities, and the knowers of the body, both the individual soul and the supersoul, can be known. The body is the field of activity and is composed of material nature. It is the individual soul which is embodied. Enjoying the activities of the body is the Purusha or the living entity. He is now, he is one knower, and the other is the supersoul. Of course, it is to be understood that both the supersoul and the individual entity are different manifestations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The living entity is in the category of his energy, and the supersoul is in the category of his personal expansion. Both material nature and the living entity are eternal. That is to say that they existed before the creation. The material manifestation is from the energy of the Supreme Lord, and so also are the living entities, but they are of the superior energy. Both of them existed before this cosmos was manifested. Material nature was absorbed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mahavishnu, and when it was required, it was manifested by the agency of Mahatattva. Similarly, the individual entities are also in him, and because they are conditioned, they are adverse to serving the Supreme Lord. Thus, they are not allowed to enter into the spiritual sky. After the winding up of material nature, these living entities are again given a chance to act in the material world and prepare themselves to enter into the spiritual world. That is the mystery of this material creation. Actually, the living entity is originally the spiritual part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, but due to his rebellious nature, he is conditioned within material nature. It really does not matter how these living entities or superior entities of the Supreme Lord have come in contact with material nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead knows, however, how and why this actually took place. In the scriptures, the Lord says that those attracted by this material nature are undergoing a hard struggle for existence. But we should know it with certainty from the descriptions of these few verses that all the transformations and influences of material nature by the three modes are also productions of material nature. All transformations and variety in respect to living entities are due to the body. As far as spirit is concerned, living entities are all the same. We shall continue to read in the next session. Thank you for joining. Granthara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.